What's up, guys? It's Kristen from Anime Collective. So in this video, I'm sharing manga you can finish in a weekend, all fully released in English. If you're looking for horror that you can finish in a weekend, Junji Ito has a ton, but I'd recommend starting with Uzumaki or Shiver. Uzumaki is his best long-form work with some of the most unsettling psychological horror in manga. If you prefer shorter, punchy stories, Shiver is an amazing collection with some of his best. For more, definitely check out my full Junji Ito guide. If you're, however, in the mood for something heavier, Takopi's Original Sin is a short sci-fi manga now collected in one volume from Viz. It follows Takopi, a cheerful alien from a utopia, who meets a young girl and is forced to confront the harsh realities of human emotion. It's compact but devastating, like Goodnight Poon Poon condensed in 2 volumes, and it's one of the most emotionally intense stories I've read in a long time. Okay, I swear I'm not trying to ruin everyone's weekend here. I do have some heartwarming recs coming. But next up is No Longer Human by Usamaru Furuya. This is one of the saddest manga I've ever read, and also one of the best. Inspired by Osamu Dazai's novel, it follows a man named Yuzo as he spirals deeper into isolation, self-destruction, and despair. It's raw, brutally honest, and beautifully drawn. If you're up for something heavy, the new complete edition from Kodansha is one to get. Speaking of heartwarming, this next one, while not beaming with cheer, is beautifully bittersweet. Girl's Last Tour is a post-apocalyptic story with a surprisingly hopeful tone. Collected in 6 volumes from Yin Press, it follows Chito and Yuri as they explore the ruins of civilization on their trusty motorbike. Between scavenging parts and sharing soup, they find meaning in the little things. It's quiet, melancholic, and one of the most peaceful end-of-the-world stories you'll ever read. Based on the original novel and illustrated by Takeshi Obata of Death Note and Bakuman, All You Need Is Kill is a fast-paced, action-packed sci-fi you can finish in one sitting. When alien mimics invade, a soldier dies on the battlefield, only to be reborn each day to fight and die again. With intense gore, a killer time loop concept, and some of the most beautifully drawn panels, is one I highly recommend, especially if you're a fan of manga like Gaunt's like I am. Another thought-provoking weekend read is Eminon, Memories of Eminon, based on the novel of the same name. It feels complete in one volume, though a continuation titled Eminon Wanderer was released due to its popularity. The story follows a young man in 1967 who meets a mysterious woman on a ferry. There's more to her than meets the eye, and the quiet connection they share, along with the mystery that unfolds, makes this story feel timeless and captivating. It feels like a snapshot in time, the kind of story that quietly pulls you into another era, and it really stuck with me. There's something so human about remembering where we come from, about how even brief encounters can leave a lasting impact. Eminon explores all of that in such a gentle and thoughtful way. This next one, The Horizon by J.H., may not be a manga, it's a manhwa, but it's absolutely worth the read. Collected in just 3 volumes, it tells one of the most harrowing stories I've ever experienced. 2 children try to survive in a post-apocalyptic world, searching for hope after losing everything. It's quiet, haunting, and deeply emotional, with minimal dialogue but powerful storytelling. This one broke me, and I still think about it to this day. After something as heavy as The Horizon, you might want a story that's still emotional but more uplifting, and that's where A Silent Voice comes in. It follows Shoya, a boy who once bullied Shoko, a girl with a hearing disability, and years later, he tries to make things right. It's a beautiful story about redemption, communication, and second chances. It made me cry both sad and happy tears, and it's one of the most powerful manga I've ever read. If you're looking for something quick, surreal, and totally unlike anything else you'll read this weekend, check out Dementia 21 by Shintaro Kago. His manga are darkly absurd and wildly imaginative, and this is my favorite of his. It's collected in 2 volumes from Fantagraphics with a few full-color panels and some of the most beautiful editions in my collection. They look incredible on the shelf and read even better. The story follows Yuki, a home health aide whose job spirals into surreal chaos, from AI-powered dentures to elderly battle royales. It's episodic, clever, and hilarious in that should I be laughing at this kind of way. If you're in the mood for something thought-provoking, smart, and wonderfully bizarre, this is a perfect weekend pick. His imagery is truly mind-blowing, grotesque, intricate, and surreal in ways that completely defy expectation. Every panel feels like slipping into a fever dream, the kind that's beautifully and deeply unsettling all at once. He's constantly pushing what manga can do, both visually and thematically, and Dementia 21 is no exception. Planetes is one of the best sci-fi manga you can read in a single weekend. It's just 2 omnibus volumes, and once you start, it's hard to put down. This was Makoto Yukimura's first series before Vinland Saga, and it still holds up to this day. The story follows Hachimaki and his crew as they clean up the mess, and what starts as a story about space garbage turns into something so much more. It is hard sci fi grounded in realism, but it also feels deeply personal. The character work is phenomenal, it's emotional, philosophical, and even slice of life at times. It's not flashy, but that's what makes it so refreshing. If you're looking for something thoughtful, character driven, and beautifully human, this is a must read. If it interests you, keep an eye out for the deluxe edition releasing from Dark Horse this summer. The Girl from the Other Side is a quiet, haunting fantasy manga that says a lot with a very little. It's a quick read thanks to its minimal dialogue, but it's no less impactful. The story is set in a world divided between the outside and the inside. Those on the inside are cursed and shunned, sparking a kind of witch hunt. We follow Shiva, a young girl and teacher, a cursed outsider who takes her in. Their bond grows as they navigate this bleak world together, and despite the darkness around them, the story is filled with warmth and quiet tenderness. The art is simple but striking, with a unique style that fits the tone perfectly. The world building is subtle and immersive, and it's easily one of the most unique fantasy manga I've read. You can collect the full series in 11 volumes or in 5 beautiful hardcover deluxe editions from 7 Seas. Goodbye Eri is a single volume read by Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch creator Tatsuki Fujimoto. It's one of my favorite one-shots I've ever read. It completely surprised me, it's emotional, dramatic, and has that surreal cinematic vibe Fujimoto does so well. The story follows Yuta, a boy who begins filming his terminally ill mother at her request. After she passes, he meets a mysterious girl named Eri, and they start making a movie together. But things aren't as simple as they seem. There are moments in this that genuinely caught me off guard, and others that stuck with me long after I finished it. That's one of the things I love most about Fujimoto's work. It always feels cinematic, and his love for film really shines through in Chainsaw Man, Fire Punch, and especially Goodbye Eri. It's an unforgettable story about grief, memory, and how we choose to frame the moments that define us, and it's one of Fujimoto's best works to date. Solanin is a complete story collected in a single volume from Viz, quick to read but emotionally impactful. It follows a group of 20-somethings in Tokyo trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Mako's stuck in a soul-crushing job, and her boyfriend Naruro, a freelance illustrator, is staying at her place because he can't afford rent. There's something quietly terrifying about your 20s, like you're supposed to follow that stable path even if it's not what you love. Solanin captures that feeling so well. It's one of Inio Asano's more grounded and accessible works, and if you like stories about finding meaning, growing up, or chasing a dream, this one's worth your time. If you want more on his work, check out my full Inio Asano guide. That's it for the shorter series, but if you've got more time, these longer series are all 10 volumes or under, and still completely bingeable in a weekend. A lot of them are fast-paced, engaging, and you'll fly through them before you know it. First up is Pluto, Naoki Urasawa's retelling of Astro Boy's The Greatest Robot on Earth arc. It's one of my favorite sci-fi manga to date. It's only 8 volumes, and while it's complex, if it hooks you, the time will fly by, making it a great weekend read. The story follows a robot detective investigating the mysterious deaths of the world's most advanced robots. It's emotional, suspenseful, and explores what it means to truly be human. For more on Urasawa's work, check out my full guide on the channel. If you want something a little more abstract after Pluto, check out Blom by Tsutomu Nihei. It's a quick read at just 10 volumes collected in 6 master editions. The story follows Killy as he explores a massive dystopian superstructure in search of the net terminal gene. Dialogue is minimal, but the atmosphere is unreal. Nihei's art is about scale and isolation, and it completely pulls you in. If you like quiet, visual-driven sci-fi, Blom is one of the best. If you're looking for another intense sci-fi read, Akira by Katsuhiro Otomo is a must-read. It is only 6 volumes. Set in a dystopian Neo-Tokyo after a massive explosion, it's a gripping cyberpunk epic filled with biker gangs, psychic powers, and political unrest. Even if you've seen the anime, the manga dives much deeper into the story and world. It's one of the most influential manga ever made, and it still holds up today. For the best reading experience, I recommend the hardcover editions and the Akira 35th Anniversary box set. It's one of my favorite box sets of all time. It's more of a commitment than others, but if you've got a clear weekend and want something gripping and cinematic, Akira is an absolutely doable read and is absolutely worth it. If you're, however, looking for a classic sci-fi horror you can knock out in a weekend, Parasite is perfect. It's just 8 volumes, and once you start, it's hard to put down. The series follows Shinichi Izumi, a regular high schooler whose life changes when a parasite tries to take over his body, but he stops it just in time, trapping it in his hand. Now partially controlled by a sharp-tongued alien named Miggy, Shinichi is the only one who can see through the monsters hiding in plain sight. Originally released over 30 years ago, Parasite is still one of the most iconic horror manga ever made, packed with chilling alien designs and some of the best body horror in the medium. You can grab it in the singles or the new full-color editions from Kodansha. If you're not sure which to go for, check out my comparison on the channel. If you want something unsettling, thought-provoking, and perfect for a weekend binge, Homunculus is one of the best psychological horror manga out there. It's eerie, surreal, and really sticks with you. Created by Ichi the Killer's Hideo Yamamoto, it follows Nakoshi, a man who agrees to an experimental surgery called trepanation in exchange for cash. Afterward, he begins to see disturbing distortions in the people around him, the homunculi. Seven Seas has released this series in 5 oversized omnibus volumes if you want to check it out. It's also featured in my best horror manga video if you want more recommendations. Okay, so for this next one, I know some of you are probably thinking this looks way too romancy for me, but please hear me out. Watakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku isn't your typical manga, and I've even seen romance fans say there isn't enough of it, which usually always signals to me that I'm going to love a series. Collected in 6 volumes for Kodansha, it's fast-paced, episodic, and easy to read in multiple sittings. It's a low-stress, funny, and relatable series about adult co-workers and friends bonding over anime, manga, video games, and cosplay, perfect for a weekend binge. If you're into any of these hobbies, the humor hits, the group dynamic is great, and it's a fun and easy read. If you're in the mood for a thrilling, fast-paced weekend read that blends mystery, horror, and suspense, Summertime Rendering is an incredible choice. It hooks you early with its eerie island setting and keeps the tension high as the story unfolds. It follows Shinpei, who returns to his hometown for his childhood friend Ushio's funeral, only to discover her death may not have been an accident. As he investigates, he's caught in a death loop that resets every time things go wrong. At just 13 volumes, or collected in 6 hardcovers or paperbacks from Udon, it's full of twists and features a cast where every character matters. If you're into supernatural thrillers with great pacing and lore, this one's worth diving into. Alright guys, so that's it for my list of manga you can read in a weekend. Hopefully you found something new to check out. If you're interested in picking any of these up, I've included affiliate links in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help support the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and if you want more manga recommendations or breakdowns, consider subscribing. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you all next time.